strange settings in terms of when this is taking place, but hey guys, EndoPlasmite here, and we're back with another episode of EndoPlasmite Plays Pokemon LeafGreen. When I say strange factors of how this episode is being recorded, is because this is actually taking place Tuesday morning, meaning that this is actually going to be recorded later, recorded to be uploaded later tonight. Last episode, we caught Diglett, which was going to be our second teammate for our team, at least the main final team. And we were going through the process of trying to get Diglett more leveled up, so that way it's not as lower level compared to where it really should be. Before we proceed any further on stuff, don't mind me, I just had to cough up a boogie. I think I still have to. I'm not sick, it's just sinuses have always been my problem. I think I might have said that in a previous video, I can't remember. But before we proceed any further, a couple things I do want to address, or at least readdress. First things first, like I make mention in the video's descriptions, if you guys do have questions that you want to ask me during this whole process, don't be afraid to ask. Well, with reason. Like, keep it reasonable, specifically. If it's something that's going to be very foul, obviously I'm not going to respond to it. And in general, if there's any comments that you just want to say at all, let me know. Keeping that in mind, I do actually pay attention to the stuff that's going around. It's just been a little bit of a busy time frame to actually address it properly. What do I mean by addressing it properly? I mean that, yes, I do see the comments, and I also do see the views and subscriptions. I know this is supposed to be very laid back, but as a start, cool. Nice specifically to know that this is good background noise for while people are working on stuff. Like for sewing, or which was the comment that was brought up. But that's kind of the intention with this, because I think I pointed out this is supposed to be a very laid-back series, as if it's something that you get home from work or from school or just general, just day off type of thing. And around 8 o'clock Eastern, you see the episode go live, as if it's a TV show episode. Kind of like you would with childhood cartoons almost. So, I have no objections with this being considered background noise at all. Go ahead and play this while you're having fun doing whatever. Like running a D&D campaign, have this as background noise. Doing stuff with a significant other, background noise. Doing some recreational activities, background noise. Even going on a walk and just listening to the audio, background noise. I got no issues on it. This is run a lot differently than it would be with my main channel. Which, speaking of the main channel, I do also see the fact that we actually have 2 subscribers so far, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot more than nothing. I say 3, but technically one of those subscriptions is my main channel, so that way at least I can keep tabs on these videos easily. Because without checking my computer constantly, it's kind of hard to turn around and just keep going, switching back and forth on the accounts. So at least if I just have this followed, I can at least keep better tabs on it. So, thank you to everyone that's been watching so far. Also, previous episode I was talking about the gamblers having either fire, water, or grass, and I did say that I think one of them was going to be fire somewhere. I still haven't found the guy yet, but I definitely had found the water one this time. And the grass I found last episode. At least this one should be an easier fight to deal with, though. I did say that this episode mostly is going to be a grinding episode, because Because again, I do want to get Diglett to the point where I can actually start using it more frequently without having to constantly switch it back and forth, back and forth. We've also been doing a better job in terms of keeping things PG, mostly with the audio situations. I'm not trying to swear. I also am still working on plans for stuff behind the scenes, because I wasn't kidding when I said that I have other ideas for what I wanted to do for Saturdays and Sundays, but for right now I'm going to be keeping it just empty. Just to keep things on the safe side so YouTube doesn't try to do something stupid to the channel. Also, I am wrong. This just proves me wrong, so I'm definitely wrong at times. I don't have any issues admitting to that. I thought it was just fire, water, grass, but nope, electric is factored in too. So I give up. Don't worry. I don't mean like give up and chat. You guys get what I mean. Either way, this works in our favor though, especially for us trying to grind for experience for Diglett. This is also another trainer that I can technically use the Versus Seeker with. Which, speaking of, I will actually activate that in a short bit to go after those two electricians. Great ball. And I will go in here because I think there's a couple things upwards. There is. So, first, talking to you, it's a trade, so it's another case of the opposite way around, where you need a Nidorino to get a Nidorina. I will do this later on, and I won't, I repeat, I won't use this for trading. I will actually try to catch a Nidorina later on in the series, but we'll leave it go as that. 30 species is supposed to be a item finder. This will be a fun one, because once I get to the stage of being an item finder, there will be an episode that I will literally just go through and locate all the hidden items that I can. I'm waiting on that though, because, well, just because I haven't hit that point yet, so we'll just leave it at that. Do you have a Rattata? Best in class, first Pokemon's Rattata. Not necessarily judge, but there's nothing unique to other youngsters that I've seen. I think so far the main topics of discussion that I wanted to make sure I explained this episode have kind of been done. Also, ouch. I will try to bait and switch on this. We do have to soon get to the point where we have to be careful on doing that, because we will soon get to the point where there are some Pokemon that know the move Pursuit. Also, before I forget, that's a cheating Raticate. There's been several cheaters that we've seen so far. No wonder he's top in his class, he cheated. But on that though. So, like main topics of discussion that I was talking about earlier was addressing the fact that, yes, I haven't said anything yet, but I do actually see all the stuff going on behind the scenes of the channel, mentioning about the comment, mentioning about the subscribers, rediscussing the fact of how I view this channel, with it literally just being something that's just an easygoing background noise channel. Direction for what I plan on doing for Saturdays and Sundays is still in the works. Oh, direction of what happens past this point. So, one of the big things going off the bat is the fact that I still have to go back through and actually start doing more stuff with my actual channel. But most of the time nowadays, it's been collab content with the guys. I think this guy is fire. See, I was right this time. And keeping that in mind, that it has to get to the point where I may have to bulk record episodes a small bit for this channel, just to keep things going for like a week, potentially. And then that way, it just gets uploaded and set to go, so I don't have to turn around and keep remembering to... Well, that was pretty rude. That was very rude. You know, have to worry about trying to get it done immediately. That's very rude. Can you stop that? Okay. Asked for it. You asked for it. You switched out back to Diglett. Diglett has its attack fully back. You asked for it. The only thing that sucks is I don't get the full experience for Diglett. I should in Vulpix's case, though, because Vulpix doesn't have Roar. Vulpix doesn't have Roar. I'm fairly certain that it doesn't. Though I may just consulting them, trusting me and knowing it. Vulpix does actually have Roar. See, I said I could be wrong on this, that's fine. I think that's all the trainers in the area, though. Could be wrong. Did I already fight you? Yes, you were the top in the class. Sandshrew, we already got Sandshrew. And I think the main Pokemon here that I have to worry about finding actually is Drowsy. It's Drowsy I haven't caught yet. Speaking of Drowsy, that's unique. Haven't seen that in a bit. Also, this is probably not gonna work. I'm gonna try anyways. Yep. Hurts, but could have been worse. I'm gonna try something as well. Something different as well, should I say. Yeah, that's okay. Drowsy shouldn't be that hard to find in this area, though, so I do have another shot. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to turn around and actually fight against a... Try to find some good examples. What are some good examples? No, I can't actually figure any good examples. If you have a good example for this game franchise, please leave it in the comments. I'm not going to do that every time. You guys know for some stuff I try to keep some of the bits to a minimal. Like the Zubat episode bit. Shifting gears slightly, because I do actually want to try to catch Drowsy at least. Just to say that I had. If it reappears again. But it really shouldn't be that difficult to find Drowsy, to be honest. As he says, and yet Drowsy still has not made an appearance again. Sorry, give me a moment. Yeah, it's literally listed as common. In the book, of course, using Bulbapedia or Cerebi, it will actually give you actual... Okay, there we go. Actual case of what the percentage rate is of finding Drowsy. little smarter, shall we? I do have plans also on the topic of bulk recording stuff. I do have plans going on of what I want to shoot for future episodes. Like I do want to do, when I do the point of some of the bulk episode recording stuff at the same time, I actually want to try to do it where we'll have some of my friends join in with the calls / videos. At least in the case of this, they should be able to see everything and hear everything properly. Kind of treat it a little bit like a podcast almost, but not really. Okay. And then just go over different stuff. I might hit a baseline set of like questions to ask each of my friends on it. Kind of little cliche, generic situation. If you got questions that you want me to try to ask my friends and myself for those podcast episodes, leave a comment down below. Sorry, couldn't resist. Off to a strong start, are we? Actually, I wonder, can I actually try something real quick? Okay, I got lucky on that. Let's see if I can get lucky again. Or, you know, I could just always miss completely. How bad is this gonna hurt? That's pretty bad, actually. I'm gonna switch you out, and then I gotta dip for a second. 1 second. Being solo in the house right now, I gotta try to keep an eye on the kitten that we have. So, the brief little 17 minutes going on before, I was able to just easily walk away and not have to keep monitoring her. But after a certain point, I'm like, I should probably check on her, because she might be getting into something. She's fine for right now, but this kind of indicates the reason why I'll eventually try to go through some bulk episodes. Because, I mean, doing it in the 30-minute increments is good and all, and at least keeps me in the habit of trying to daily and nightly do stuff. No, thank you. But it becomes a little bit of a concern when you're the one that's in charge of watching around the house, doing housework and stuff like that for at least a bit of time while the other person's working, and you can't really do this and do the housework at the same time. Bad combination. Also, speaking of bad combination, this fight is gonna hurt a lot. I think Butterfree has confusion as a main point, and doesn't it learn Gust, or am I mixing it up with Beautifly and Dustox? Gust is much later. Confusion it should already have, but if it's broken, like most of these sometimes are at. Yeah, so riddle me this. It keeps using status moves constantly, right? So, as soon as it evolves from Metapod into Butterfree, it can automatically learn the move Confusion. And then 13, 14, 15, it learns the 3 different types of effective powders. But then at level 18, it learns supersonic. So effectively, we might actually be fighting a Butterfree that has 0 damaging moves and literally only has status moves. And we're losing to it. We have a 9 level difference and we're losing the fight. Of course, now the fight's done, so it doesn't make a difference. Also debating something. No, I'm gonna keep it that way. Also, I forgot I need to save. These two are chatting with one another. You already fought, and I guarantee you have a Squirtle. Or I might be wrong on this point, and it already evolved into a Wartortle. I'm fairly certain it's a Squirtle, though. Yeah. Rematches is what it actually evolves into a Wartortle. And that was a quick fight. And then that leads us with our last trainer, which is not there. Okay, so we actually did finally go through fighting all the trainers in this area. But I did say I was going to go back to use the Versus Seeker on the 2 electricians. Are they called electricians? Or are they called workers? I forget. I think you guys understand my point, though, so... Actually, let me move this further. So it's the Magneton guy again. Neither. They are engineers. Okay. I think we're at the point with fighting the Magnemites that I should be able to use Magnitude with no issues, but the Magneton I definitely need to use Dig. Mud Slap. You know what? I will. Here's why. Just for the factor of the accuracy lowering. We may need that advantage later on. It may be one of the first moves to go later on, but at least for right now, having Mud Slap might be helpful for us for a little bit. Go on that. And you were able to fight, but you had grass Pokemon. And I think yours are now stronger. No, never mind. ponder some spoilers for you guys for which Pokemon are actually going to be brought out for the rest of the team. It took as long as it did to actually get to this point. So, at least to give a little bit of a spoiler for the Pokemon that I will be bringing on for the other 4 members that are left. Also, yeah, I figured that was going to happen. Team member 3 and team member 4 I can get in the same city. That kind of narrows it down a little bit, but not by much. Because if you think about it, that does pertain to multiple different areas for what it could mean. It could mean Lavender Town, where that gives you all the different ghost types as well as Cubo. It could mean with Celadon City, where it involves the Pokemon you can get from the game casino and evolution. It could literally mean all the way down in Fuchsia City, where you have the Safari Zone, the ability to get rods again, like a Great Rod, because it opens up the potential for that. It's a wide variety guess for what it could mean. Because I kind of gave it away as a spoiler with that it's the next city, I think. I think I said that. If not, that's the spoiler for you. Once I hit one of the specific cities, that'll be the next lineup for Team 3 and 4. And technically 5 and 6. What? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything on that. You guys didn't hear anything. Wink. So we're cutting down to the wire on the last little bit of this episode. I do at least want to try to do this one more time. I'm not going to fight either of those guys. But I will try to do one last little thing in case my guess is correct. And if it doesn't work by the time that it reaches the end of the episode, that's perfectly okay. I'll still do my little bit of research on stuff and figure it out. So you might see me back at this point at the beginning of the next episode. Let's take a quick look. It's not what I was thinking, but it actually works in my favor. And see, now you know why I wanted to actually keep Mudslap. Because it did hurt, it could have been worse. But now it's lowered its accuracy twice. And see, now I try to use Sleep Powder at me and it didn't work. There we go. One new Pokemon added to the Pokedex. So that actually leaves things on a good note. Because it's not what I thought it was going to be in this area, but that still works. I'll leave that as vague as it sounds. So, as it stands right now, I think that brings our total for the Pokedex to 24. We're 6 away from the item finder. We already hit the 2 other benchmarks, which I won't really discuss yet because we actually haven't hit that point. But next time around that we start up the episode, we will finally go through the process of going through the SSN and fighting a lot of the trainers. I will have to break one of my rules though once we hit SSN, and that is going through the process of finding hidden items. Because once we beat SSN completely, the ship will disappear, so I won't ever be able to get those items back. And we're trying to run this without doing any trades from previous games, so it's not like I can turn around and have a Pokemon with Cut brought into this game to bypass all that. But either way, we'll see you guys in the next episode where we will go through the process of battling SSN. And if things work well, that recorded episode might take place tonight, also on Tuesday. So we will see you guys in the next episode.